Alright, Title 3, Evaluation Standards, Chapter 1, General Standards applicable to all institutions. Introduction. The section accreditation compromise most heavily weighted part of the accreditation process. Chapter 1 states to explain minimum operational educational practices expected by all institutions with a methodologically most mode of educational delivery issue with whether the institution provides educational activities and so much for the minimum expectation, the extreme deviation from which there is not permitted. The council will encourage the invitation with the institution attempting to be somewhat flexible into the interpretation of the standard does not write the waivers as criteria pertaining to the good educational practice. Chapter 2.6 contains the additional criteria with the applicable to the institution and other offering non-degree programs and programs illuminating an occupational associate's academic associate's bachelor's and bachelor's degree. The council recognizes that some of the requirements of these standards may not be appropriate for the entities and may be waived specific standard for the case-to-case basis. 3.100 Mission and purpose of objective. Every institution must have the mission with its specific purpose. The existing mission must include the mission statement, the set objectives together with the accomplished purpose of the institution. Objective should be devoted substantially career related to education and shall be responsible for the program and the instruction mode of delivery facility for the instruction. Facility for the institution. Institution may exhibit the variety of missions ranging from those for the singleness of the purpose for those multiple purpose. 3.101 Disclose the mission statement of the institution purpose of supporting the objective must be stated with the catalog other publications related available to the public. The mission statement must be expressed in terms readily understandable to the students and parents of the public and other educational institutions. 3.102 Implementation. The implement institution is measured for both the terms and stated purpose of the terms of the consistency and endeavor of the fulfill the purpose. The faculty, financial resource, the physical plan, administrative management, educational activities should appropriate the committee with successful implementation of the stated mission of the institution. 3.110 Campus effectiveness. Important to dedication to the overall effectiveness of the accreditation council for the independent colleges and students accreditation institutions agreed to which meets the mission and objective of the educational goals to identify that each accreditation independent college schools accreditation main branch of the campus shall develop and implement campus effectiveness plan that consists of the mission and objective of the campus effectiveness plan shall identify how the campus plans to assess consistently improve the overall education operations, how it plans to meet educational occupational objectives of its program, taking into consideration reviewing all critical organizational functions such as admission, recruitment, financial aid, and student services. The campus effectiveness plan, the following elements and minimum shall be evaluated and reported for the effectiveness outcomes of both campus and program levels. 1. Retention rates. 2. The placement rates. 3. Graduation rates. 4. The level of student satisfaction. 5. The level of graduate satisfaction level. 6. Level employer satisfaction. 7. The students with the learning outcomes. 111 Development of the campus effectiveness plan. The effectiveness plan with each of the campuses shall be described and written with the campus effectiveness plan documented to comply with Appendix K requirements of the guidelines of the campus effectiveness plan. 112 Implementation monitoring of the campus effectiveness plan. Each campus shall establish a process developing, reviewing, monitoring campus effectiveness plan with each of the campuses. Document the progress reports completed with at least biannually related with the completion of the activity, change of the date with the information each of the elements identified with the campus effectiveness plan is prepared. C. 113 Evaluation Campus Effectiveness Plan. Each of the campuses shall evaluate the campus effectiveness plan with its goal for the effectiveness of the activities complete with at least annually. The annual evaluation will involve comparison of the outcome with the baseline rate of the goals of each of the elements measured for the after completion plan activity date for the historic. The outcome shall be maintained included with the report provided with the basis of evaluation achievement of the goal of the various elements of operation of the campus program effectiveness over time. 3.1.200 Organization. Each institution have an organizational structure designed to promote among all the staff, faculty, severe understanding, cooperation, and responsibility. Performance standards, monitoring controls need to be employed to ensure the adequate administrative functioning. The annual budget expenditure shall be adequate to properly carry out the stated educational objective of the institution. 3.1.200 Disclose the governance control of the cooperative organization institution shall be stated with the appropriate publication, including catalog together with names and trustee, director of the administrative and officers. 3.1.202 Integrity. The integrity of the institution manifests with the professional competency, experience, the personal responsibility, ethical practices demonstrated. All individual compromising ownership of the control of management and institution must assume the full responsibility of the action statements for the conduct of the representative and must therefore select each of them with the utmost care to provide with the adequate training of the range for the constant proper supervision and evaluation of their work. The council considered the following to be important. A. Emphasis shall be placed for the efficiency and effectiveness of the overall administrative of the institution. Attention shall be given to the educational activities, mission, student financial life, financial operation of the plants, equipment, the students serve with the compliance with the applicable local, federal, state, federal law, the degree of the institution compliant with the criteria of the areas, the administrative with the capability of the chief administrative of the main campus and branch campus, and for the distributed and enterprise of the designated chief of the administrative of the institution. The institution must maintain a written evidence with the faculty, staff member, clearly understand that the duties and responsibility known to the person with whom they report, understand the standards by which the success of their work is measured, to copy the document describing the terms and conditions, to give them the faculty, staff member the copy to maintain by the institution administrator must maintain the documentation of the evaluation from the faculty, staff. See, the administrative organization and institution, the professional integrity of the faculty and staff shall be respected. Administrative decision shall not inhibit the academic freedom of the faculty. The institution shall adopt the policy ensuring the academic freedom and communicate with the policy of all faculty. And all the institutions shall establish policy, publish, implement appropriate grievance policies, procedures ensuring complaint with the receipt of the students employed with the other interested party with the agreements of the procedure. Students shall be published in institutional catalog. Student handbook shall include the name and the address for the accreditation council and independent college and schools. 203. Data integrity. The data reported to the Accreditation Council, Independent College, and Schools for purpose of expected to reflect the accurate, the verified, the portability, and institutional performance and subject with review with integrity, accuracy, and completeness. 204. Financial stability. Financial well-being of the institution requires constant oversight of the competent manager of the institution to have adequate revenue with its assets and members meet the requirement responsibility to ensure the continuity of the service accomplished its mission. Budgetary practices shall reflect the balanced application for the resource of the operation amount with expense debit, which must be burdened with the educational objective of the institution. The proportional budget application for the instruction program must be adequate. The financial profile of the institution must support the intent objectives. 31300 Administration. Each institution must coordinate with the administrative function to best serve the educational mission. All staff should be well trained to carry out the administrative functions. Detailed record keeping and enhanced with the management of the institution. 301. And management. Each institution shall have the chief executive officer. Moreover, each of the institution shall have the qualified on-site administrator of the main campus of all the branches. The person must be made with the known of the Accreditation Council, Independent College, and Schools shall be responsible for the implementation and state of the mission and determine the institution governing body. Staff consistently shall evaluate the program study with the student activity program guidance for the service of financial aid, service of instructional procedures and resources, other aspects of the educational program institution. The chief executive officer shall seek and improve the educational program as a result of such evaluation. Copy of the accreditation criteria shall be maintained at each of the main branches. The location shall be available to faculty and staff. 31302 Evaluation degree. The institution lists the degree of the staff members. The catalog shall have on the file with appropriate evidence for the degree. The copy of either transcription diplomas are acceptable. Records carefully recording with the crucial smooth the day the operation of the institution. The data of these records that important the institution future planning with the students for the information purposes of the evaluation during the school visit. All school records, all such records shall be maintained at each of the institutional site and shall be available at each site during the evaluation visit. The council expects at least one of the following: accurate records shall keep the institution relative to the administrative operation. These include financial activities, admission, curriculum accreditation, and licensure guidance for the instructional resource supply, equipment, and student, school plan, faculty, and staff, and student activities and student personnel. B, for all students admitted under the ability to benefit the determination, the institution shall maintain the record of validated test scores, initial periodic academic career advising, and any other factors used in the institution to support mission determination. See, for the institution admitting the students under the ability to benefit the determination, shall be maintained the evidence of the relationship between the test cutoff score of whatever test there is an institution successful academic employment outcomes. Such records could include such data: admission rates, the acceptance of the various rejection completion rate with those enrolled, general placement rate, specific career placement rate, students tested and enrolled based on the test validity, the predicted aptitude, but the test score shall be predicted successful completion of the program. The institution must develop a longitudinal tour at a comparing of the test cutoff scores utilized for the acceptance and evaluation success for the students. Institution admitting the higher percentage of the application based on the testing losing a comparable high percentage of those students before completion. However, even allowing the factors other than ability may not be a use of the appropriate test of the measure of aptitude. The cutoff score with admissions is too low or both. Using the minimum cutoff score determined in the U.S. Department of Education will not in itself able to satisfy the requirements of this section. D, for high school graduate, those with the high school equivalents, the institution shall have in the file the evidence for the students required for the high school diploma or equivalent. The signed statement by the student is acceptable documentation. The The student's records may also include the personal background information, evidence of the educational experience, including certificate, diplomas, degrees earned, information about the ability of the student to benefit the educational offered, included any aptitude testing information recommendation for the other sources. E. Permanent academic record of the transcript. The student progressed with it shall be maintained compatible with the institution mission, but the transcript shall indicate that the student accomplished the term of the clock at the hours, the units of the credit, and some other recognized system. The grading system shall usually fully explain on the transcript must consistent with the appearing with the institution's catalog. F. All records pertaining to the students shall be safely protected. The records shall be stored consistently in all manner with provided with protection against misuse, misplacement, damage, or destruction, theft, or acceptable methods of protecting records from theft and fire, water damage, and other possible loss. They include electronic record management systems, software, appropriate fire-rated file cabinets that can be and are locked within, not used in central locations such as the vault entirely, which was protected. Print out records on other hard copies recorded with the protected stored and off premises. Certain records shall be maintained in an institution specified period of time. The institution shall adopt and publish the policy, the responsibility, the authority of the institution properly maintain and retain such records. At a minimum, policy should address the following documentation retention requirements. 1. Academic records shall be maintained permanently. See the glossary definition record permanent academic. 2. Admission and advisement records shall be kept at least 5 years after the graduation or last date for the attendance glossary definition record or admission and advisement. And financial aid records shall be maintained in accordance with the record retention policy guidelines established for the funding source. See glossary definition record and financial aid. The institution shall comply with the published policy on the records maintenance and retention. 3.1.400 Relations with the students. Each consistent institution shall strive to ensure that the relationship with the students will always reflect the highest of ethical standards and conform with the applicable laws and regulation. Each student is also required to develop a program. Student services consistent with the stated mission, ensure the service provided with the students attending with both branch, campus, and learning sites. Such services should support the educational program, reflect the institution concern and welfare in students. 3.1.410 Admission and recruitment. And it is up to the institution to establish its own mission criteria with the responsibility of accreditation council and independent colleges and schools to ensure that all who enroll are accorded equal educational opportunity. The monitoring activity of the institution employs the vendor, the contractor, the agent, with the referral, the recruiting, the evaluation of the mission process, for the responsibility for the institution, the activity of those. These individuals must be supervised by the institution. Institution may delegate these activities to anyone whose economical incentive of the recruiting project through the means of the unethical subject of the public criticism or to admit ill-prepared application. The institution may not contract directly, indirectly, third parties who are generally unfamiliar with the institution, non-employees or independent contractors who are not considered employees under the Internal Revenue Code. Institution participation in Title IV programs must be aware of the regulations imposed by the U.S. Department of Education that apply with recruiting practices. 3.1.411 Admission. The missions policy shall conform to the institution mission, shall publicly state, and shall be administrative in the writing of the following minimums apply. The requirements for the student admitted with the program leading to the certificate, diploma, and the degree shall include the graduation of the high school equivalent that will demonstrate the student ability to complete the program and ability to benefit the classification as specified under the statute standard 3.1.303b, and C. Provided with the governing laws for giving the trans internal standard. Students seeking the admission must be evaluated member Association International Accredited Evaluator, or IACE. Association Accreditation, Association College Registered Administrative Officers, AACRAO, and National Association Credential Evaluation Services, and NACES. To validate the equivalency of the graduation high school eligibility to enter the college and university of the United States, the responsible for the institution maintains student records that reflect the requirements of the mission of all the students. 3. Institutions are precluded with the meeting under the different requirements of students who are beyond the age of the compulsory student attendance may otherwise specify circumstances such as having financial sponsorship through the contractual arrangement of the public and private organization, have identified the need with requiring the medial instruction as a supplemental with require regular curricula, participating in initiative post-secondary programs specified and described in the Accreditation Council, independent colleges and schools, and or being enrolled in individual courses not leading to an academic credential. 3.1.412 Recruitment. The recruiting shall be ethical, compatible with the educational objective of the institution. Allocation for the institution financial resource for the purpose of the requirement shall be consistent with the stated mission of the institution. The following minimum shall apply. The institution shall ensure the person engaged with the mission recruitment activities on the behalf of the communicating current accurate information regarding the course of the program. Student achievement disclosure section 3.1704. Students services tuition terms of operating policy of the institution must maintain documentation demonstrated that it systematically monitors the recruitment activities. Non-prospective student names obtained with the result in the survey canvas the promise of the future employment include income, while the student other marketing activities by institution may be used for the recruiting purpose of the useful unless the name of the institution is clearly identified the purpose of such activities is communicated with the respondent. This does not preclude the use of surveys or other studies to determine the employment needs and the educational desire of the local community. All institutions conform with the laws and regulations each for the state which in the operative of the shall ensure that each of the representatives is properly licensed, registered, and required by the laws of the state. Representative of the institution shall use only the title of which accurately reflect the actual duties and responsibilities of the requirement of the enrollment. Personnel may not designate with the counselor. Advisors may not make the final decision regarding the financial aid and the eligibility, packing, and awarding of the disbursement. Referrals are permitted, but the referrer may be paid a fee so long as the referral provides the full disclosure, does not misrepresent purpose of soliciting prospective referrals such as payment do not violate the state and federal laws. All recruiters must be submitted with the institution administrative to ensure that their activities are in compliance with applicable standards. 3.1.413 Transfer of the credits. An institution shall evaluate concerning awarding proper academic credit for the credits earned for only the institution either credited with the agency recognized in the United States Department of Education recognized by the respective government institution of higher education for the international based institution. The institution shall establish and adhere to the systematic method of evaluating and award academic credit for the course satisfying the current program requirements, including an evaluation of all foreign transcripts, members association, international credential evaluators, AICE, association collegiated registered administration office of AACRAO, National Association Credential Evaluation Service Provider Evaluation Award. Written policy procedures must clearly outline the process with which transfer academic credit is awarded. The institution shall disclose in its catalog policy transfer credit, including the statement of the criteria established by the institution by which the determination made with regard with accepting credit with another institution, if applicable, list of the institution which is the institution has established articulation agreement. Additionally, the institution shall disclose the catalog and transferable with the credits in the program that are offered. 3.1.414 Enrollment Agreements. All institutions must use an enrollment agreement for each of the enrolled students with clearly outlines the financial obligation of both the institution and the student. The agreement must outline the program related to the tuition fees must be signed by the student and appropriate school representative with copy provided with the student. 3.1.420 Students of standards of satisfactory progress. Each institution will establish administrative measure of the satisfactory academic program for all students as referenced in paragraph Appendix D. 3.1.421 Compliance. The institution complied with the requirements in Appendix D. 3.1.422 Documents compliant. The institution documents compliant with the satisfactory academic progress policy. 3.1.423 Oversight. The institution incurs the assess of the students that experience difficulty in progressing satisfactory in their programs. 3.1.430 Tuition and fees. Institutional finance grant for the schools, scholarship and loan for the council. The council recognized that the accredited institution offer the administrative grant for the scholarship loan for the students. Institution must meet appropriate guidelines for such groups in order to ensure the legitimacy participation in that technical institutional grant. See Appendix E. Guideline for the institutional fund of the student aid with the institutional loan with the scholarship program requires adherence to the following. Additional administering federal student aid program, the institution may offer the following type of the student's financial aid with the grants funded with the institution award with all students within qualifying category. All students will demonstrate the need for the accordance with the published standards. The scholarship provided with the institution third party administered by the institution to provide aid to the students to demonstrate academic achievement in accordance with the published standards. And 3, the loans funded by the institution available to equal to all students. Institution finding with the administrative grants and scholarship loan, but must be described in the current catalog, description of the criteria of the award, the application procedures, deadline, the amount of the may be awarded. All information must be avoided with the false, misleading, and exaggerated statements. Institutional financially loan may vary with depending on the student's need, with the terms of the condition of loans, including forbearance repayment, must be described in the current catalog. All institution finance loans must be collected in accordance with the sound and aggressive business practices of the collection of student loans. Institutions must counsel with the students concerning the loan repayment obligations. 31432, tuition and charge. The institution may charge the varying amounts, but the tuition and fees different with the program. The charge may should be consistent with a similar circumstance to students enrolling at the same time in the same programs. However, the detailed financial record shall indicate all the times the financial obligation of the student is to the institution the following of the minimum expectations. Tuition and other charges, including the period of the student financial obligation, shall be clearly stated in the catalog institution. The existence for any of the separate comparable publications changes containing the tuition rates must be referenced specifically in the catalog. The schedule for the charges must be uniformly administered, but the simpler circumstance students. The financial record of the student shall clearly show the charge of the day with the posting of the tuition fees and the other charge of the payment, the date of the payment balance after each transaction. Announcement of the change of the tuition and fees must be stated effective the day of the change, being uniformly administrated. Terms and payment may be varied by institution so long as the tuition changes are uniformly administrated. 31433 refund policy. The institution must have a fair equality refund policy applicable to all students that is published in the institution catalog. Specified federal and state policies may apply. 31434 Administrative Student Financial Aid. The participating state, federal student financial aid programs require the special administrative responsibility council to accept with the institution, particularly with such programs, to be acknowledged with all the compliance applicable laws, regulation, following requirements to govern how such activities evaluated by the Accreditation Council, independent colleges and schools. An institution participating in student financial aid programs shall designate at least one competent person with the administrative student financial aid. The extent of the activity, the personal need, with the should govern the side of the classification of the institution. The person who determines the amount of the student award cannot be responsible for the dispersion of those awards. The person or persons assigned with administrative student financial aid must in all cases be part of the administration personnel involved with the student recruitment as measure for the activity shall not be the final decision-making authority with an approval of awarding student financial aid. Those should be professional, aware of the part of the financial aid administrator as shown with the members and the participating state, regional, national financial aid association by other educational activities designed to keep an administrative up to date and procedural changes in the fields. 31435 cash discounts. Institutions provided with the discounts for the cash received with the advance of the normal payment. The schedule must have the written policy. The policy must provide in writing all student application prior to the enrollment. The institution must demonstrate the policy is available to all the students. The institution based with the side of the discount financial benefit the institution received with the payment of the cash either earlier than otherwise required with the institution normal tuition payment with the schedule of the applicable to reinstallment contract. 31440 students serve the 31441 counseling and guidance. Each institution is designated at least one person on one of the staff experience with the counseling student with the personal academic problems and the employment opportunities. Send such activity the personal assigned to it that shall determine the size of classification, mission for the standard of the institution, characteristic, location, standard meet with the communication with them, orientation activities shall assist the new students and the adaptation of the institution. The following are the minimum exemptions. This is some educational opportunity with the personal advice that the show advise be available to students shall provide with the periodic basis of the ability to benefit the student enrolled person pursuant to section 31303B. The institution shall emphasize the retention program completion with all the rates that through activity to take into account with the academic and social economic characteristics. Institutions will provide employment assistance for documented activity instruction, and institutions shall not guarantee employment to other or starting salary to of its graduates. Follow up the study for the graduates and employer satisfaction conduct by the institution specific measuring points of the following placement of the graduate. All institutions use placement percentage for the salary projection as part of the recruiting activity that shall maintain on all graduates, including a percentage receiving the jobs, and career fields in which they were trained. Institutions shall also be keeping on data on students who do not graduate who become employed on their own with the institution's assistance. An institution is encouraged to provide placement assessment with the request of the graduates to other accredited council, independent colleges and schools, accredited council, institutions who are relocating the new community. Institution shall document the students and council concerning with the student loan repayment obligation 31442 extracurricular activity. The institution will sponsor the conduct of the program. The extracurricular activities shall be based on such programs well-defined program. The purpose of it shall be designed primarily to serve the educational need of the student. Institution shall provide with the guidance and supervision for them. 31500 educational activity. Major index for the institution quality effectiveness for the education program. The educational program must consist with a stated mission and adequate breadth adequate breadth and context to achieve and produce the measurable results of educational activities, whether residential or otherwise, whether group of the individual orientated shall include their definable instruction, interaction, evaluation, and second index institutional quality and the resource available to the instructor of the instruction and students. Third, index institution quality of the competency for the faculty. Effectiveness of the institution depends upon the contemporary teaching strategies, practice upon the knowledge, ability, the commitment, the facility, the selection, orientation, guidance, simulation, evaluation of the teaching staff, and some of the most significant responsibility of the administration. The faculty should actively participate in developing the total education program of the institution. 3.1.501 facility involvement in the academic governance. Facility shall have the clear and responsibility distinct from the developing institutional policy to participate in administrative implementing policy, especially with the academic affairs of the institution, adopt the published policy, the responsibility authority of the faculty members, faculty matters of academic governance. And at a minimum, the policy should address the role of faculty in the development of the educational program in the institution, selection of course materials, instructional equipment, and other educational resources, systematic evaluation and revision of the curriculum, assessment of student learning outcomes, planning of the institutional effectiveness. Alright, 3.1.502 programs recruiting, closed certification, or licensure. For institutions offering programs in which the state certification, license, registration mandatory in order to perform, equipped with in order to become employed with a specified career field. Curriculum must contain the necessary course of the work afforded with the student's opportunity to the minimum of the medical skill of the competency in order to be certified and licensed, registered in the career field. 3.1.503 specified pragmatic accredited program. The accreditation of the program specified with the pragmatic accredited required for the student to obtain the entire level of employment within the state, whether the institution is licensed or otherwise approved. The institution must obtain such accreditation in a timely manner. The institution must provide the documentation notification to the student as to which programs hold specialized pragmatic accreditation. B. Whether successful completion of the program qualifies the student receive the apply to take licensure exams in state with the institution located for online program. The information must be provided for all states for which the institution enrolls in students and any other requirements the general requirement of employees. Employment of the institution shall also assess the curriculum and the need of the specialized accreditation updated into the need to reflect the current requirements of the employment. 3.1.504 Education and Safety of Study Abroad Activity. The institution may enter the formal education for the study abroad relationship with the eligible institution outlined home country in accordance with the requirements outlined in Appendix J. 3.1.505 Direct Assessment Competency-Based Program. Competency-based program utilizes direct assessment of student learning of the faculty, other experts in the field serving under the supervision of the institution for the academic progression of the lieu of the clock of the credit hours. The institution must demonstrate that it utilized the robust structural process of identifying the required knowledge, skills, and professional behavior soft skills to be considered competent in the field. The syllabus for each of the course must clearly define the competency standards. How the direct assessment of student learning will be conducted. The institution must demonstrate the counsel and methodology to determine the equivalent number of the credit hours and clock hours required for the program. The institution required to maintain part of the parent or academic record student work with the submitted for the direct assessment along with the institution assessment of the student achievement. Specific standard required in Appendix H of the Principles and Requirements of the Non-Traditional Education, Section 1, 3.1.510, Program Administration, Planning, Development, and Evaluation. 3.1.511, the Program Administration academic programs should be assigned to the individual academic experiential qualifications related to the program. The study, the amount of the time devoted administrative of the program must commensurate with the size of the scope of the institution. This program authoring while the administrative structure of the institution program administrator, department's head have all authorities responsible for developing and administrative of the program have adequate time and the resource to fulfill the responsibility. 3.1.512 program planning. Educational activities consistent with the institution mission for the object of the credible integrity of the institution will be reflected in the manner in which the missing objectives correlate with the educational opportunities made available to the students. Council recognize the legitimacy, veracity, mode of the educational delivery of the institution with the use of the various modes of delivery should demonstrate overall effectiveness, quality, is consistent with the criterion C, the glossary, definition, distant learning, independent study, self-paced instruction. See Appendix H of the Principal Guidelines, Non-Traditional Education. Following standards apply. The formation policy designs educational programs that shall involve the students and graduate administrative, the faculty, other interested parties, such advisory committee with the practice also should adhere as evaluation process to determine the effectiveness relevance for the institution relies upon the curricular course of the coursework that is designed, leased, owned, and by any other entity provided with through network entities. Flexibility, organization, administration shall provide with the surveyor serve the varying group of the situation. Provision shall be made with the individual difference among the students for the learning, the application, learning environment, and modes of the instructional delivery available to the student. The use of the community resources shall be varied, and each of the program shall be utilized to enhance student enrichment, potential career opportunities. See glossary definition, community resources. 31513 Program Development. Educational programs shall evidence well-organized sequence of appropriate subjects of the leading to occupational objective, academic credential of both of the following apply. Curricula should be published. The institution catalog shall be objectively specified with the curriculum. Additional shall be detailed with syllabus found in the file of each of the course and curriculum that is made with each of the students enrolled in each of the class for independent study course. Institutions are required to develop a learning contract signed with the student institution outlined with the course with the objective to pursue. It is unique with the form and instruction. The externship institutions are required to develop a written and mutually signed agreement that outlines the arrangement between the institution of the site, including specific learning objectives, course requirements, evaluation criteria with the council expectation, detailed syllabi, and independent study and externships are outlined in the glossary. The course offered with it should be available to the need of the student in the normal pursuit of the program of the study. The prerequisites must be indicated. The prerequisite system must ensure the proper qualification students are given the class to provide them with an increased level of difficulty as student progresses. An institution may record student progress in clock hours with credit hours and define in glossary. When appropriate special consideration be given the remediation English of the second language programs for additional information. Appendix F is required for the English and secondary language programs. 31514 Program and Evaluation. Faculty should participate in systematic process with the continuous curriculum evaluation for visiting institution curve the consider curriculum change with the desire to serve the students' needs if it may be determined of the community serve with the other factor procedure relating to the educational employer needs. 31515 Specialized Accreditation Program accredited with a specialized accreditor recognized by the U.S. Department of Education Council of Higher Education Accreditation within or for an institution for the government appropriately recognized organization provided with specialized accreditation. Chief Executive Officer institution shall attest to the Accreditation Council and independent colleges and schools provided documentation in compliance with the standards of the specialized accreditor. 31516 Course and Program Management. The council recognized that the institution provided with their students' learning environment, which is achievement they encourage the further recognize the legitimacy of both of the traditional lecture, laboratory, externalship, non-tradition, distant education, independent study, educational delivery method frame with the transfer of credit with the consistent application of academic credit awards shall apply with all these varied with the educational delivery. Institution there must be demonstrated with a written policy procedure to determine the credit out with the knowledge of the appropriate academic courses, the program measurement, the correct application measurement, the correct traditional delivered program measurement, the credit hours must be calculated based on one of the following attribution formulas. 1 quarter credit hour equals a minimum of 10 classroom hours, lecture 20 hours, laboratory 30 hours, externship. The formula calculating the number of the quarter credit hours for each of the courses, hours of lecture divided by 10, hours of the lab divided by 20, hours of external by 30, or semester credit hours, minimum of 15 class hours of lecture, 30 hours of the laboratory, 40 hours of practice them, and the formula calculating number of the semester hours of each of the course hours, lecture divided by 15 hours of labor divided by 30 hours of relationship to 45. Syllabus for each of the course must provide accurate, appropriate content out of the class learning activity support academic credit with award of the course. Many course of the combination lecture labeled with a particular curriculum. Therefore, the institution shall be very carefully allowing the number of hours each for the particular course. A clock contact hour includes a minimum instructional time of 50 minutes for the supervised director with the instructional appropriate break of the appropriate breaks. Therefore, when calculating the conversion of the clock to credit hour, the allocating credit of the course's instruction must take great care of the ensure the school breaks are educational appropriate long period of the instruction. Unusual short no breaks are not acceptable. Institution burden for the convincing of the concept of the breaks is sufficient, along with the frequent of the program for the being taught. The rare of the institution be able to divide 50 in the calculating credit hours equivalent to the contact hours. Usually, the denominator must be should be more than 60. Something between 50 and 60. Credit award rationalization on traditional delivery courses or programs. Distant education and independent study generally does not use above lecture in particular forms, practicum formulas of credit calculation. Rationale usually must be submitted with the council to pre-approve the credit calculation, as is part of the approved application. The institution must demonstrate the clock of the credit hours awarded with the appropriate degrees and credentials offered through the development the rationale. The institution may accomplish demonstrate student completion of these programs of the course as required at the equivalent level of knowledge and skills and competency that are required in traditional formats. Courses offered in non-traditional formats must be structured to ensure that the student has sufficient opportunity for preparation, reflection, and analysis concerning learning and subject matter. Institutions shall be awarded with the federal law's requirement the minimum number of the weeks per academic year with the Title IV for eligibility purpose. U.S. Department of Education eligibility criteria definition of the Title IV disbursement may be different from those of the accreditation criteria. The institution may award the academic credit to the students demonstrate the competency of their subject area based on the academic, occupational, personal experience. The following exemptions expectations apply. The institution shall establish and adhere with the systematic method of evaluation awarding academic credit for those experiencing experiential learning, advanced academic standing credit by examination and satisfying current program with the course requirements. Institutions must maintain documentation to support credit hours awarded with appropriate basis and assessment of the knowledge, skills, and competency awarded. 31517 course scheduling. Course must be scheduled in such a way that educational appropriate for the academic background of the student serve the type of the course involved. The method of educational delivery. The council will review the number of the minutes and instruction provided with the appropriateness of the length of the breaks between classes, the number of the classrooms hours between and per week, exemptions of the outside preparation of the educational need of the student. 31520 credentials conferred with the 30521 conferring credentials. Conferring with the certificate, diploma, the degrees, the institution shall be consistent with the mission and objective of compliance with applicable state laws. 513530 instructions. 531 instruction tools. Institutions shall provide appropriate facilities, instructional equipment, the resource, the support, and the mode of the instructional delivery and personnel. They ensure the academic freedom and other conditions favorable to effective classroom instruction. Ensure quantity and type of the instruction material, equipment, the proportional to the size of the institution, nature of the program, and comply with the applicable copyrights of the laws used in the instructional material. 31532 instructional components required in instructional components shall include the following: systematic planning, well-defined instructional objective with the selection of the use of the appropriate learning materials, appropriate mode of instructional delivery, use of the appropriate assessment strategy, then use of the appropriate experiences. 31540 faculty preparation. Faculty preparation the faculty members should academically, experientially, appropriately subject matter to the teach. Faculty members shall be competent to teach the subject matter offered, shall have the reasonable latitude in their choice of testing methods. U.S.-based institution must provide evidence for the faculty member or graduates of the institution accredited by or agencies recognized by the U.S. Department of Education. Credentials of the faculty who graduate from the institution outside the United States must be evaluated by a member of Association International Credit Evaluators, or AICE, Association of College Registered Administration Officers, AACRAO, or National Association of Credit Evaluation and Services to determine the equivalency of credentials awarded to the institution in the United States. Alright, internationally based institution must provide evidence of the faculty member of the graduate of the institution recognized with the respect of the government's institution, higher education evaluated, member of the Association of International Credit Evaluators, Association Collegiated with Register of Administrative Officers, National Association Credential Evaluation and Services, determine the equivalency of credential award of the institution in the United States, Accreditation Council, and independent college schools, and to determine the qualification may require the translation, evaluation, transcripts in language other than English. 31542 verification credential. The institution must maintain the official transcript of the credentials to qualify the faculty member to teach the assigned course. Those credentials are later listed in the catalog. All these credentials shall be filed with the administrative office at the campus location near where the facility member is primarily employed. An official transcript is one stamp from the registered office of the institution where the study will comply with the creed directly with the employing institution, documented electronically with a link provided with the employee institution for the institution where a study was completed. Transcript was received electronically must be indicated indicated with the indication of the official transcript. The link provided with must have the information on how to verify the authenticity of the transcript. The transcript bearing notion issuing the transcript student is not official transcript with employment purposes. 31543 Faculty Development. Institution required to establish faculty development plans, including both services and professional growth activities to enhance the faculty experience expertise that shall be documented with evidence on an annual basis of the development plan with implementation for those faculty who are trained with the teaching methods of the post-secondary level opposed with limited related outside element employment. The plan should concentrate with the content update of the new software, equipment, and techniques, and installation responsible for demonstrating these plans are appropriate given that even each faculty member the training of the education-related work experience that provided with the proper makes of it in service training of the professional growing based on the academic experiential background of the faculty. See glossary definition in the service training of the professional growth of faculty development. 31544 faculty meetings. Regularly scheduled faculty meetings, department meetings, and the participation of the full-time, part-time shall be held with discussion and attendance shall be recorded. 31600 educational facilities. Each institution will provide environmental conducive with the good instructional learning that supports the educational program offered in the institution. Adequacy of the environment is assessed against the demands made upon the curriculum, faculty, and students. 31601 plan equipment, the building, classrooms, equipment, the furniture of the ground with the instructional tools, support system, instructional facilities, machinery, other physical requirements of the educational program shall be appropriate to contribute to the active achievement of the instructional objective of the equipment, instructional tools, machinery. They must be properly installed and maintained. 31602 code of requirements. The plan should meet the general testing of safety and usefulness, cleanliness, maintenance, hygiene, health, lighting, compliance with any of local safety laws governing physical facility, particularly with respect to fire and safety and sanitation. Alright, 31700 publications. It's important the institution recognize the value of the truth in advertising when promoting their operation. The public must be prepared to present with a professional manner to reflect the favorability of the upon the institution. Information published must be accurate, factual, and reflect the current staff of the institution. Only the council can accept the rejected institution catalog. The final decision will not be made based on a draft. 31700 one catalog. Each institution shall publish provided each of the enrolled student with a catalog which comply with the Appendix C of the institution publication requirements. 31702 multiple school catalog. Institution utilizing common catalog must be common ownership of the photographs, physical facilities. Any of the institution must become absent and to identify the particular institution campus depicted with the faculty, staff of each of the institution member, the generally administrator of the exercising supervisor responsible for the group of the institution must be clearly identified with the respect of each of the institution overall administration. Any information contained with the catalog that is not common in the institution of the group shall be represented in such a manner that there is no confusion or misunderstanding, misrepresented as possible. For further information, the Appendix C. 31703 advertising. Literature used by an institution must be presented in such a manner that is factual, perspective, and service the author benefits promise. In English translation for advertising, there is a language other than English must be available. For further information, see Appendix C. If the institution publicly discloses incorrect, misleading information by the accredited staff, the contents of the evaluation team report the accreditation actions will respect the institution. The institution must make a public disclosure of the correction throughout the same media means. 31704 performance information. Each campus shall routinely provide reliable information on the public and its performance, including student achievement information that includes minimum retention placement and licensure examination pass rate. Where applicable, the information provided shall be for an entire campus and each of the program reported in the Accreditation Council of Independent College Schools most recent campus accountability report. 31800 library resource for services. Adequate provision of library resource information services appropriate with the academic level scope of the institution program, the essential for the teaching and learning, the incumbent upon the all member institution access level library resource, the need of the religion of these programs provide range for the support meet the needs of the size of the collection of the budget will allow for the library resource to serve do not assure the adequacy, the quality, relevance, accessibility, availability, provision for the support services ultimately determine the adequacy of the institution after the assessing the library resource serve the accreditation independent council of services council and schools requires the institution minimum shall develop an adequate core of library service to support academic success to meet instructional resource needs as appropriate, ensure up-to-date meaning of the success for the resource, develop a continuous assessment strategy for the library resource for information services, include staff and faculty, provide adequate staff and support assessment, library development, collection, and organization accessibility, ensure library services provided with all learners, including the non-main cabinets and those online. Provided training and encouragement with the student faculty utilize the library resource as an integral part of the learning process for lifelong learners. And G, the campus have the residential component, but must provide the students with physical space within the space within the close proximity of the institution in order to allow the access to the library resources and services. All right, Title 3, Evaluation Standards, Chapter 2, Standards of Non-Degree Programs.